Hey guys, welcome back to another video with InfoSec Pat. In today's video, we're going to be doing another walkthrough on HackTheBox. We're going to be doing a machine called Return. It's a Windows machine. So if you want to follow along, pop open your Kali box and follow along. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for checking me out. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the bell so you get all these notifications and you're well aware of the new videos that I put out. So if you guys are ready for this walkthrough, let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back. So here we are on my desktop. Like I said, we're going to be doing return today. So hopefully you guys are ready for this. So it's a Windows machine. Let me go ahead and pop it open here. So if you see on the screen here, return is a Windows machine. You can get this from the retired section. So if you want, you can just go to machines. If you're unfamiliar, go to retired machines and just search for it and you'll see it. It looks like this bad boy opens. It looks like that. I guess it's returning a ticket. So that'll be funny. You want to return me some money? I'm just kidding. But all right, cool deal. So I was trying to, and not I was trying, I was doing this with a friend the other night, and it got too late, and we did compromise the first ticket or the first flag. So I did do the first flag. We're gonna walk through it together, but I'm just saying, like when I submit it, it's already been, done. So let's get into it. So what we're gonna do is let me open up a command shell. Let's open up command. Let's go ahead and log in as root. All right, let's cd to hack the box, return. Let's do an ls here. So let me just go ahead and ignore this really quick. And it wasn't there. All right, because I was just doing something else. So what we're going to do is I want to go ahead and cat the return.txt, which is my nmap results. Like the first thing we always have to do is go ahead and run an nmap to see what services are running, what ports are running, what versions of blah, blah, blah. This is the first step into the process, right? So we know we have DNS running, we have HTTP running, we have 88 Kerberos, 135, 139, 389, which is LDAP, and all that good stuff, right? So as we can see, we can go ahead and just see on the port 80, let's go ahead and copy my IP address and just go out and see what's running on port 80. Okay, so we have an HTTP printer, so which is HackTheBox printer admin portal. So this panel is pretty much, so say for example, if you're a sysadmin or help desk, we all love printers, right? Which I hated printers when I was doing help desk, but some people, I have a friend that loves to deal with paper jams. I don't know if he still does it today, but when I was in the sysadmin world doing that on a daily basis, one of my coworkers, he ended up being a friend. He was just like, "Oh, I love dealing with printers because no one likes to deal with them." I'm like, "Kudos to you, brother. Deal with all the printers you want." But anyhow, so as we can see hit home, settings, facts, troubleshooting. Let's go to settings. So this is pretty interesting, right? So we have a server address, a port number, a username, and a password. But what is this password? We don't know, right? So what we can do first, we can actually go out to Google. We can Google an exploit. So for an example, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Let's go ahead and go back to settings and let's go ahead and go out to Google and we can go ahead and just do port 389 printer exploit. Okay. And you can just tinker. And for example, this first one, we can look at Nick we can see like exploiting multifunction printers during a penetration test, right? So we can see how he's doing it. Pretty much, we're going to do that same exact kind of way. 389, it's obviously it's unsecure. So if we can get any kind of communication, it's unsecure so that is in clear text, or in this case, in plain text, right? So what we're going to do is create a netcat listener just like here, and we're going to have it listen to our on our attack box. I'm sorry, and then once we hit on the end, the netcat listener, once we hit update in here, it's going to go ahead and say, for example, we do update, nothing's going to really happen, right? So let's get started on that. Okay. So obviously I have that uh, nmap results, so we can result that if we need to go run back to it. Okay. So now let's go ahead and just do netcat 389. Okay. So now let's go ahead and that. And the next thing we're going to do is really quick. I want to get my IP address. Don't know my IP address. It's 10.10.14.8. So let's go ahead and copy this. Let's go ahead and paste it here. Update. And now we get a response. So it connects to the printer. So it's return slash svc dash printer. And this is my password. Cool. So I'm going to copy that. Throw that in here. So we have some credentials now. Okay. So now what we can do is continue with our process of compromising this machine, right? So we have some credentials. So now let's kill that. So the next thing in this process, what we can try to do is we can try to run crack map exec against different kinds of services such as SMB, WinRM, etc. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. So let's do crack map exec. And like I said, I was doing this the other night, so thank God I'm lazy and I don't want to type all this stuff out. So let's, for example, I want to do SMB first, right? So that is my IP address. So the IP address didn't change. So we see that it's true. So it is running. I guess we just retype it, and right. And let's see if it's running. So we see it says pwned. That indicates that it is running WinRM. So what does that tell you? Now what we can do is run evil WinRM against this IP address and then use the credentials that we have compromised to get a remote terminal, right? So, or remote access. So as you can see here, we're going to go ahead and run WinRM, the IP address, the username, which is svc-printer, and the password, which is our password, and we use single quotes because it has special characters. Okay. So now what we're going to do is do, for an example, we can do cd dot dot, and then we can cd to the desktop, and then we can do an ls, and we have user.txt. So let's go ahead and type type. Okay. So we have the first flag. Let's copy that, and then we can bring it here. But like I said, it was pretty easy to get that one. I already did the first flag. So now let's go ahead and do the fun stuff. So now we have to do privesc. We have to get to root, right? We have to get to the administrator, because if we use cd dot dot cd dot dot whoops cd dot dot ls administrator, we started cd into administrator, ls cd to desktop. How are we how are we doing that? Okay. So yeah, we didn't get it. I was like, how do we get to that without doing anything? All right. So that's cool. So now let's just go ahead and just do cd dot dot, cd dot dot, and now let's go ahead and just do an ls cd back into server svc dash printer ls into desktop. Okay, so we can just continue here, right? So now we are on this machine. So if we do who am I, we are SVC printer. So we do who am I all, we can see, all the configs, all the group information, your SID, which is stands for security identifier, and the privileges information. So see what the privileges are, etc. Right? So what we can do now, we can run a net user command. So we can do net user, and all these are Windows based commands, and definitely learn them if you want to be in the Windows world. So what we're going to do is we want to see the information for server, excuse me, the service for printer. So let's go ahead and hit the up arrow in SVC dash printer. Okay. So this will give me all the information that I need for this user, right? SVC printer, it's the full name, it's the service account for the printer, et cetera, et cetera. So something that really sticks out to me is the local group memberships, right? So in local group memberships, we have server administrators. So what we can do, we can go out to the interwebs and search that. So when we search server server operators privilege escalation, I found this page, and I saved it so we don't have to go digging for it on Google. So poking beyond domain admin part one. So this was pretty interesting. All right, so if we go down here, let me find it. Yep, right here, server operators. Okay, so you can just look through here and check this out and give it a go, right? So right here, what you can do is use this. And what I did, you can use, excuse me, you can use Netcat, you can use PowerShell. I'm going to be using PowerShell for my demonstration in this video, but you can just go on and use whatever you want to pop a shell. Okay. So next thing we have to do is get the shell code. So for timing's sake, I Googled all of this before I started the video, so I have it handy. Okay, so here is so if you just Google invoke PowerShell TCP.ps1, this is the script right here. So let me just open this up on a different page. And we can do just Control A here, copy. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to open up another do vertical. So let's do horizontal. Okay, let's do horizontal. Oh, hit horizontal, and I went vertical. Okay, all right. So that's that up here. Let's go up down here. Okay, so let's do let's go cd to hack the box. Turn. Okay, so now let's do nano. Okay, and what we're gonna do is paste that in here. Okay, and then if we go back to the script, we have this invoke PowerShell TCP reverse, but we're going to make some changes to this. But we can take this, copy it, I'm going to paste it here. Okay, I want to do 9001. That should be fine for me. And my IP address is IP address from HackTheBox 14.8. Let me double check. Let me just make sure that is correct here. Yep, 14.8. Perfect. So we just have to make that change. Yes, shell .ps1. All right, so now I have that shell.ps1 here. Okay, so now we are good there. So now what we're going to do is let's do vertical now. All right. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have to start a netcat listener and start the server. Okay, because we're going to have to get this PS script, this PowerShell script onto the server, which is onto the return box. Okay, so let me go ahead and cd to HackTheBox return. Okay, so we are there. We are there. So now the first thing, let's make sure that everything is good. Okay, cool. So hopefully you guys are following. And now this is when it gets a little, fun. So over here, I'll just start netcat. And I'll have to do 9001 because that's what we set the script as, right? And over here, we can go ahead and just do Python 3 -m http server 80. Whoops. http server. To 8080. I think because I'm running it on something else, that's fine. I'm not sure what it is, but anyhow, let's continue. So now what we're going to do is we have to get this script that's on my local machine onto the server, right? So first thing we have to do is we have to, excuse me, excuse me, sorry, sorry. So now we have to have the change service config. Holy moly, sorry. All right, so let's go ahead and start this. So we have to do just like how that site was saying. So it's sc.exe config VSS, right? Because we want to use VSS bin path. Excuse me. All right, so now it's going to be in Windows System 32. And then it's going to be cmd.exe. Okay, and then we're going to do PowerShell. Okay. Excuse me. Holy moly. All right, so if you remember, we go back here. Go back to, let's go back to server operators. So this is exactly where I got it. I just copied it onto another screen. So, okay. So I don't have to keep toggling back and forth. Okay, so it's -C. And then what we're going to do is pull down. Holy moly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a new object. Oops. Jacked up. All right, let me try that again. All right, so let's do a new object. Okay, object. Okay, so the new object is going to be net.webClient. Okay, and then we're going to have to do a download string. All right, so and then a download string is where we're going to be pulling it from, right? So in our case, it's going to be HTTP and 10.14.8. Okay. I guess I would do :8080. Let's see. Shell.ps1. Okay. And then Let's go ahead and that out. Okay, so that was successful. So now we have to execute to pull that data, right? To actually execute the exploit. So now all we have to do is pretty much stop and start. Like if we go back to here, we just pretty much have to stop it and then start it again, and we should be golden. Fingers crossed, right? So let's do that. And then let's start it, and we should be golden. Boom. Now it executed it. Where am I? We are good. So we can cd dot dot, cd dot dot, and then do an ls, cd to users, administrator, and then do an ls, cd to desktop, ls. Now we have the root.txt. Now let's do type root.txt. And here we go. This is the root flag. Copy that. Whoops. Copy that. Let's go back here. Submit flag. Paste that in. I'll say it's 4 because I had to do a lot of typing. And voila. We did it, guys. So we pwned return. Hopefully that's been informative for you guys. Thank you so much for checking me out. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. And I thank you so much and have a good one.